One of the obstacles to happiness is boredom, feeling that life is an endlessly repetitive cycle, one day indistinguishable from the next. Shabbat is a day apart, a day identifiably different from any other, arresting the feelings of indifference that may oppress us. Most importantly, it is a day of renewal, an opportunity to replenish ourselves and refresh our outlook. Renewal on Shabbat is far deeper than physical rest. It's a weekly divine infusion of spiritual energy into the universe. Our sages derive from a verse in the Torah that every 6 days, in some sense, the world comes to an end, at which point Shabbat arrives to renew and refresh it. Every Shabbat, God breathes new energy, new life into the world and into each one of us. Just as God animated Adam with the breath of life, God gives us the revitalizing breath of Shabbat every week. The source of our energy and life force is the divine soul within us. And every Shabbat, we access our soul in a new, deeper way. Shabbat has the power to revive our soul, rejuvenating us with renewed spiritual energy that flows into every part of our being, enriching our relationships and uplifting our lives. Shabbat inspires us to live with this mindset of renewal, to see the world as new and fresh with possibility. It prevents us from stagnating and becoming bored with life. It teaches us that we are living in a world that at any one point is no more than 6 days old, and that every week is a chance to start afresh. It inspires in us an awareness and an appreciation of the ongoing miracles of creation, and it reminds us that God renews and refreshes His world constantly. Seasons change, the time to harvest comes and goes, cells die and are replaced, babies begin to walk and then run. Every morning we wake up to a familiar world in a familiar body, but in fact everything, including our mind and our soul, is being renewed all the time. The universe and everything in it exists in a dynamic state of divine recreation. This is why the blessings we recite are formulated in the present tense. For example, before eating a fruit, we say, "Blessed are you, Hashem, our God, who creates the fruit of the tree, borei pri ha'etz." We are not just thanking God for having created fruit trees at some distant point in the past, or for setting in motion the laws of nature that automatically produce fruit. We are thanking Him for constantly refreshing and recreating the world, and for creating this fruit right here, right now, so that we can enjoy it. This is why it is not enough to say this blessing once for a lifetime. Every time we partake of the earth's wondrous bounty, we acknowledge that God made it just for us. Through Shabbat, we are guided to live in a 7-day cycle, to appreciate on a daily basis the newness and freshness of the world each week. God teaches us by example, by remaking and renewing the world constantly, challenging us to live with newness, to view the world from a fresh and inspired perspective. Shabbat teaches us there is no status quo, that the world we live in is constantly being renewed and recreated, which makes it an exciting place to live. It reminds us that we can recreate ourselves and our lives, that we must not allow ourselves to feel constrained by self-imposed limitations and by being mired in old ways of doing things, by becoming bored. Just as the world is in constant flux, so too are we capable of refreshing change. Shabbat empowers us to feel truly alive. I invite you to learn more by reading my new book, Shabbat, A Day to Create Yourself, and find out how you can use Shabbat to get creative and change your life.